I apologize for the forthcoming verbose narrative, but it feels like there's a heavy boulder resting upon my chest, and the only way to alleviate this burden is to pour out my thoughts and emotions. My journey with my boyfriend, whom I'll refer to as B, commenced when I was a tender 19, while he was a mature 25. Our love story unfolded with an almost fairy tale charm, with each passing day deepening our bond. Those initial 2 years felt like a euphoric reverie, where love seemed to bloom ceaselessly. B was nothing short of remarkable. His warmth, his unwavering affection, and his relentless efforts to keep our relationship lively were simply awe-inspiring. He cherished me in a way that transcended words. His acts of love, from small surprises to heartfelt messages, painted a portrait of devotion that I couldn't help but be enamored by. However, as time marched on, subtle cracks began to mar the surface of our seemingly perfect union. B's once unwavering confidence began to wane, replaced by flickers of insecurity that manifested in his demeanor. Despite my earnest attempts to assuage his doubts, they only seemed to intensify, leading to moments of unwarranted anger and suspicion. Yet, amidst these turbulent waves of uncertainty, B's love remained a steadfast lighthouse guiding us through the storm. The first breach of trust occurred 4 years into our journey, a moment forever etched in the annals of our history. It stemmed from a burgeoning friendship with someone outside our relationship, denoted here as C. While our interactions never ventured into overtly flirtatious territory, the emotional intimacy we shared was undeniable. When we stumbled upon this connection, the repercussions were seismic, shaking the foundation of our bond. Though forgiveness was eventually extended, the scars left behind served as a stark reminder of the fragility of trust. Fast forward to the 5-year mark, where the once vibrant colors of our relationship began to fade into muted tones of uncertainty. My feelings for B, while still rooted in love, had evolved into something less palpable, less impassioned. Attempts to initiate a separation were thwarted by external circumstances. Ailing family members and looming financial burdens cast a shadow over our attempts at closure. I must confess that I lacked the courage to address our deteriorating relationship. Whenever I mustered the bravery to broach the topic, the timing always seemed unfavorable. It was during this tumultuous period that I reconnected with an old friend, denoted here as D, and our relationship turned physical. In hindsight, my involvement with D served as an escape from the untenable situation with B. It pains me to reiterate, but my fear of confrontation prevented me from ending things with him. Additionally, I felt an obligation to take care of certain aspects of B's life, fearing that he would unravel if I were to leave. Approximately 7 or 8 months into my affair with DB confronted me about the infidelity. Initially, I denied it, but he eventually confessed to having read my messages. The ensuing conversation led to an explosive confrontation, during which B expressed a desire to salvage our relationship. Despite my reservations, I reluctantly agreed to work through our issues, albeit under immense pressure and assurances from his end. What followed was 8 months of emotional turmoil unlike anything I've experienced before. Both of us harbored deep-seated resentments and struggled to trust each other again. The scars left by our actions ran deep, yet B remained steadfast in his refusal to end the relationship. Just a few hours ago, B appeared outside my home in a dramatic display of emotion, hurling hurtful accusations and insults. It was then that I realized our relationship was irreparably broken, and I needed to summon the courage to sever ties completely. Despite his flaws, B is a remarkable person who loved me in a way I had never experienced before. In conclusion, I have made the difficult decision to cut all ties abruptly, recognizing that our relationship had reached an impasse. While the journey with B was filled with love and affection, it is time for us to part ways and seek healing separately. My heart aches with the weight of regret as I reflect on the turmoil I've caused in a relationship once filled with boundless love and promise. There's a boulder of guilt crushing my spirit, knowing that my own cowardice prevented me from confronting the truth and making the tough decisions when they were needed most. In the beginning, our love was a beacon of light, illuminating our lives with warmth and joy. He poured his heart into our relationship, showering me with affection and kindness that I now realize I took for granted. Each day with him was a precious gift, a journey filled with laughter, adventure, and unwavering support. Yet, as time passed, cracks began to form in the foundation of our love. His insecurities grew, fueled by my own emotional distance and unresolved feelings. I sought solace elsewhere, seeking refuge in the arms of another to escape the mounting pressures and uncertainties of our relationship. The guilt weighs heavily on my conscience as I recall the pain I've caused. The memory of his hurt, his anger, and his tears haunts me, a constant reminder of my betrayal. I wish I had been brave enough to confront my feelings head on, to have the difficult conversations that could have saved us from this path of destruction. But amidst the wreckage of our once beautiful relationship, there are still moments of tenderness and love that I cling to. I can't help but remember the countless times he went out of his way to make me smile, to ease my burdens, and to show me that I was cherished beyond measure. Now, as I sit here, grappling with the consequences of my actions, I know that I must take responsibility for the pain I've caused. I must find the courage to face the truth, to confront my own shortcomings, and to seek forgiveness both from him and from myself. It won't be easy, and the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty, but I refuse to let fear dictate my future. I will learn from my mistakes. I will grow stronger, and I will strive to become the person he once believed me to be. Comments. Your story is a poignant reminder of the complexities of love and the importance of facing our mistakes with courage and humility. It takes strength to confront our own shortcomings and to take responsibility for the pain we've caused others. I admire your honesty and your willingness to learn from your experiences. Remember, healing takes time, but with patience and self-reflection, you will emerge from this stronger and wiser than before. I left his place in tears around 4 a.m. and returned home, relieved that my boyfriend was already asleep. Since then, I've been grappling with overwhelming guilt, knowing that I can't continue hiding the truth forever. The dilemma lies in the fact that breaking up with my boyfriend is not an option for me. I cherish him deeply and envision a future together. I acknowledge the gravity of my mistake, but I firmly believe it was a one-time lapse in judgment, devoid of any emotional attachment. The other person involved is now a distant memory, and I am committed to ensuring such an incident never recurs. However, I am also aware of the unfairness of allowing my boyfriend to remain in the dark about my infidelity. While I recognize that honesty is the morally right course of action, I am paralyzed by the fear of losing him. I rely heavily on him, both emotionally and financially, and the thought of being without him terrifies me. Admitting my wrongdoing could jeopardize everything we have built together. I grapple with the guilt and uncertainty every moment, torn between my desire to come clean and my fear of the consequences. I know I should face the consequences of my actions, but I'm not ready to risk losing the person I love most. Yet, the guilt gnaws at me relentlessly, and I know I can't continue living this lie indefinitely. I am tormented by my own selfishness and the realization that I may be betraying the trust of the person I hold dearest. But the fear of losing him outweighs the burden of guilt, at least for now. I am trapped in a moral quandary with no easy way out, desperately seeking guidance on how to navigate this impossible situation. I find myself in a place of deep regret and shame, knowing that I've made a grave mistake. Before delving into condemnation, I ask for a moment of understanding. Reflecting on my past actions, I'm struck by the stark contrast between who I believed I was and who I've proven to be. If you had asked me before tonight if I could ever betray my incredible boyfriend, the man I adore and envision a future with, I would have vehemently denied it. Yet, here I am, facing the repercussions of my betrayal. It's clear to me now that honesty is the only path forward. Keeping this secret buried or delaying the truth will only compound the damage. Moreover, it's not just about coming clean for the sake of honesty. It's also about safeguarding my boyfriend's health. Have I considered the necessity of getting tested for STDs? It's a crucial step I must take. Confronting this reality is daunting, but I recognize it's the only way to truly honor the relationship and my partner's trust. He deserves the chance to decide how he wishes to proceed, armed with the truth. There's no guarantee of forgiveness, but he has the right to make an informed choice about our future together. I acknowledge my wrongdoing, and I accept full responsibility for the pain I've caused. Yet, in this moment of reckoning, I'm determined to demonstrate my commitment to doing what's right. It's a difficult journey ahead, but I refuse to shy away from it. So, before casting judgment upon me, I implore you to consider the complexity of my situation. I'm not seeking absolution for my actions. I'm seeking a path toward redemption, a path that begins with facing the truth and accepting the consequences.